your water's available at many of the independent places around the region. And where did Catskill Cear come from? How did you get started in this producing the local water?
Yeah, good question. My wife and I own a cabin in the Catskill Mountains. We both fly fish right on a trout stream. And we built a cabin with the help of a lot of friends back around 1990. And while we were building the cabin, we didn't have a well, so we'd have to go down the road to a public spring that comes out of the mountain. And we tasted the water and said, oh my gosh, this is really good stuff. Nothing like the water you are used to tasting like in the cities. And over the years, I kept saying to myself, how in the world, I'd love to sell this water. But I didn't have a bright idea about how to market it or do it until about 3 years ago. Then, bam, a light bulb went off in my head. And I thought, gee, why not market this delicious water and include on the bottles original works of art depicting the beauty, nature, and history of New York State. Because New York State, in my opinion, is the most beautiful state in the country. Just think of what we have here, from Niagara Falls, the Finger Lakes, Allegheny State Park, the Catskills, the Adirondacks, the Hudson River Valley, which is just spectacular. We have it all, and it's all beautiful. So my emphasis is New York State. We have 6 bottles, all with different works of art painted by local people and depicting the beauty of the state. And that's where we're marketing now. As of today, we are pretty well saturated in central New York. And we're going to be making a big effort to get into the Finger Lakes wineries. We haven't been able to do that yet because the distributors that we use don't go into the wine country. And some of the wineries are quite a ways away from here, like Rochester. And so it would be difficult for us to physically deliver the water to the wine countries. However, we just took on a new distributor, namely Finger Lakes Artisan Foods. And they do distribute products in the winery region. And that's where we want to go. In fact, we have an original painting now in the office of the Finger Lakes, which is really beautiful. Corinne O'Connor painted it. And we're going to translate that into a water bottle and market that in the Finger Lakes through Artisan Foods. And we're very excited about that.
Well, Larry Wilcox from Artisan Foods carries a lot of cheese. That's, I think, how he really started that business, was based on cheese and the growth of the cheeseries. So ideal, really, to take you on. And generally the bottled water that's out there is coming from, I don't know where it's coming from, but it's mass distributed. It's Coca-Cola and Pepsi that are behind most of these bottled water products, aren't they?
They are, and those 2 products, Coke and Pepsi, and Poland Spring, are probably the most 3 popular waters. Unfortunately, they're not pure spring waters. They're filtered tap water, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all in terms of health, but you're not getting the pure stuff in most cases with those waters. Our water is a pure spring water, and it comes right from the Catskill Mountains. And the water is tested every day. It's one of the purest waters you'll find in the world. And I said, in the world. We regularly test it against all of the popular waters, and it virtually always wins. And if any of your listeners out there have those particulate matter water testers that are pretty common, and you test our water with any other water you can buy, you'll be amazed at the absence of particulate matter in our water. And if you do make the test and we lose, I'll give you your money back on the water.
Well, you're also part of Pride of New York, and it says in the label that a portion of the purchase goes to the New York State Wildlife Preservation Efforts organizations.
Yes, and specifically, a part of the proceeds of every bottle of water we sell goes to an organization called Wild Wings. Wild Wings is in Mendon, New York, and Wild Wings cares for birds of prey that have been hurt a lot of times by getting hit by cars and are no longer able to compete in nature. Some of them can't fly. Others have disfigured bones. And Wild Wings takes care of them. And I can't say enough good things about Wild Wings because they're an all-volunteer organization. No one there gets paid. They really, really work hard to take care of these birds. And they're open 5 days a week, only for 4 hours. I believe their hours are from 10 to 2. And their limited hours are because the birds themselves can only take so much of people. And after so many hours, they begin to freak out. Wow. And they have to be left alone. But again, on cold days, Wild Wings displays their birds outdoors. And at the end of their hours, at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, they actually take all the birds indoors to keep them warm. Incredible amount of work. Great organization. I know many of your listeners have already been out to Wild Wings, but if you haven't, you really should go. It's really a great place to see, and just to see these birds being taken care of will boost your spirits. To get there, go out Clover Street from Rochester and take the third exit into Mendon Ponds Park, and they're right there next to the Sheriff's Horse operation.
Yeah, right by the visitor center for Mendon Ponds, and you see them regularly around our area, bringing the birds to special events and to schools and things too. And again, these are birds that are injured, were injured, but perhaps can no longer fly, and it's really a fascinating organization. And now, with your background, I think you told me earlier that you taught physics at Brockport for many years.
I did a long time ago. I started out in academia.
But that's maybe one of the connections with you seem to enjoy the science of the water and the testing, that part of it of making sure that it's as pure as possible.
Yes, as I said before, this water comes from a spring in the Catskill Mountains. The name of the spring is Boreal, and the spring itself is physically located in a little village called Livingston Manor, and it's bottled and distributed from a place in Kiamisha Lake. The water is tested every day. The spring employs a full-time chemist. And the specs on the testing are really incredible. It's not uncommon to see .0000000 whatever on the testing process. And that, as a result, the water is delicious. It really is delicious. And we would put our water up with anywhere in the world. And you were mentioning before there's a lot of water out there, including Coke and Pepsi. Most of the water you'll find in stores actually comes from other countries. And our water, of course, has a local connection. Our company is located in Rochester, and the water comes from New York State. All of our artwork is of scenes of New York State. So we're truly a local product, and we urge your listeners to try us.
Yeah. And your son's involved in the business, too?
My son is involved in the business part-time. He's not here today, but there are essentially 4 of us involved in the business. My son is one. My grandson is another. My grandson takes original works of art painted by the artists and shrinks them down into bottle label size. And then they go to the label company, and they're made into labels. My grandson's name is Robert Cook, and he's very talented. Very talented young man, and we're glad to have him. The fourth person is Jennifer Zappitz, who works with us. Jen does communications. If anybody tries to call us, you're going to get Jen's voice on the phone. And if you leave a message or get her personally, she will be communicating to you and answering your questions. So there's me, my son John, my grandson Robert, and Jennifer.
3 generations. That's really amazing. And each of the places where you sell these, Abundance is where I got this one. There were I think 3 or 4 different labels that were there. Is that usually the case where you'll have multiple labels at Redbird Market or Lori's Natural Foods?
Yeah, we have 6 labels, and each case that we deliver to a customer contains 24 bottles. And you're liable to get any different kind of combination of the 6 paintings. I remember a couple of years ago we delivered our first case of water to Herd's Orchards, and I was unpacking it and helping Amy and Sue put it away, and I noticed about half the bottles in this first case were Rip Van Winkle. And I said, oh my gosh, this is an oddball case. I'm going to go home and get you a different case. And so I did. I live pretty near Herd's Orchards, and I went back, got them another case, came back, and while I was gone, they sold 4 Rip Van Winkle bottles. So you never know what you're going to get in the case. But in most cases, all 6 of our paintings are represented.
The one I got is Catskill Falls, I think. Where's that?
Catskill Falls is the #1 tourist destination in the Catskill Mountains. It's located not too far from the Hudson Valley. So that's in the eastern Catskills, near the village of Catskill. And it's a beautiful falls. And also it's a dangerous falls. There's been several people killed there. But part of that is because there's so many people visit that falls. And the last fatality happened in September, and they closed the falls off to redo the trails because the fatality happened on a state-approved trail. And so they're trying to reconfigure the trails so that won't happen again. But it's a beautiful destination, and that happened to be the one you picked.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous waterfall. And do you also do private label bottling of the Catskill Cear?
We do private labels. We did a private label for Lori's. We did a beautiful private label for Watkins Glen State Park, and we will be doing it again for them, and you'll be able to buy that at Watkins Glen State Park and in both of their gift shops beginning in April.
Great. Well, and they're also spending, I think, $4 or $5 million to redo the entrance to Watkins Glen State Park. So that'll be exciting as well. And I think redo those concession stands too. It's going to look pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a beautiful park, and the private label bottle we did a painting of Rainbow Falls, which, according to our representative, is the most popular photographed bit of nature in the park, Rainbow Falls.
Wow, can't wait. I haven't seen that one. I can't wait to see it. Well, Wayne, thank you for your time this morning. And do you have any tastings coming up? I know last week you were at the Railside Market and Cafe. Do you have any other tastings coming up?
We have not scheduled any tastings, but we do them on a regular basis. And I think, I'm just guessing now, but we might be at RIT soon for a tasting there. And when we begin scheduling more tastings, I will let you know.
All right. Well, yeah, send me an email, give me a call, let me know. It's Catskill Cear, a website for people want to get some details?
Yep, CatskillCear.com, and I urge your listeners to go on the website because all of the paintings are explained and the history. For instance, one of the bottles shows the Erie Canal right in Pittsburgh. And we explain the historical significance of the Erie Canal to New York State. And we do that for all of our paintings, including Catskill Falls, Rip Van Winkle, Letchworth Park, etc.
All right. CatskillCear.com. Wayne, thank you for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, Michael.
All right. Have a great day.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. That's Wayne Cook from Catskill Cear. Natural spring water available at many independent markets and things around our area. And as he mentioned, coming soon with a Finger Lakes painting that will be available at wineries around the Finger Lakes. We'll take a quick break. Be back at the Rochester Civic Garden Center, broadcasting this morning for their seed and houseplant swap at rcgc.org for details on the garden.